In September of 1993, Electronic Arts released lead designer Michael Mendheim's Mutant League Football for the Sega Genesis. The game took the basics of football into a post-apocalyptic wasteland inhabited by trolls, skeletons, mutants, and aliens from a probably still occurring invasion. It set the game on hazard-laced fields of toxic waste, ice, and space rocks where a poorly run play might not only result in a fumble, but the potential death of your best player. And that's a tough injury to come back from. Along with the horror, gore, schlock, and dark humor, one of the things that made Mutant League a success wasn't just that it made fun of the NFL, the players, the teams, the league itself, but that it also played like a real football game. Mutant League satirizes but still respects the game of football. From blitzes to audibles to the Madden-like window panes during a passing play, Mutant League Football was a legit football game. Well, as legit as a football game can be that lets you bribe the ref, blow up a defensive back, or force the other team to forfeit due to the death of too many players. At that point, it's more of a blood sport. And it was popular. So popular that just a year after its initial release, it spawned a spin-off, Mutant League Hockey, and a 40-episode, 2-season cartoon called Mutant League. But then things went largely quiet. Electronic Arts backed away from the Mutant League brand and let it sit, just wasting away. A PSP version was released in 2006, and a small reference to Bones Jackson and the Midway Monsters in the Xbox 360 version of Madden 09, but other than that, silence. Then, in 2013, from seemingly out of nowhere, a Kickstarter arose. A spiritual successor to the violent and biting Mutant League Football, aptly titled Mutant Football League, was ready to make its debut. Asking for $750,000, the donation stalled out at around $150,000. A side-scroller in the vein of Tecmo Bowl and Football Heroes but with the monster appeal of the Mutant League? While the game had its original creator, Michael Mendheim, back at the helm, it just wasn't the successor fans of the original series were hoping for. Fans wanted to return to what made the Mutant League originally what it was. A twisted, minefield-ridden, ref-bribing, monstrosity-occupied Madden clone. 4 years later, Michael Mendheim and Digital Dreams Entertainment have resurfaced with a new version of the game and a new Kickstarter to go along with it. Asking for a modest $60,000, the campaign launched on February 2nd, 2017 and was completely funded just 3 days later on February 5th. This time the Mutant Football League is going back to its roots after learning a valuable lesson from the original Kickstarter. A return to glory. A return to the Madden-inspired, gridiron-infused orgy of skeletons carving up orcs with chainsaws while robots explode from the booby-trapped football they tried to intercept. And so far, it's pretty glorious. Backing the Kickstarter gets you a Steam key to a pre-alpha build of Mutant Football League, which is immediately playable. With this being a pre-alpha build, it is expected that it's not going to be feature complete. There will be bugs. There will be crashes. So far, I've only experienced a few graphical and textual issues, nothing game-breaking or even game-interrupting. At this point, I've spent a few hours with the game now, playing the various teams, trying different styles of play, along with seeing just how many ways I can kill the opposing quarterback. And I think Digital Dreams is going in the right direction. All of the components that made Mutant League Football great appear to be following suit here in Mutant Football League. The humor.
Some kid in his bed wearing nothing but underwear made a really stupid call right there, Bricks.
The horror.
Get your... Oh, he just got crushed.
The hits. The game still feels like a football game, though, just a slightly dated one. Maybe it's contemporary nostalgia, if that sounds pretentious enough, but whatever the case, Mutant Football League is a lot of fun and feels as if it's already captured the spirit of the original game. So how does the pre-alpha play right now? Well, there's a bit of sluggishness to some of the running, which is augmented slightly by having a limited use stamina boost ability that brings a dramatic slowdown when it's gone. This does force you to use some of the other abilities like the stiff arm and the punch during run plays, but you'll ultimately still feel like you're running through quicksand. The devs have partially addressed this already by increasing the amount of character stamina, and it has made a pretty noticeable difference. Throwing the ball downfield, on the other hand, doesn't quite have the oomph you might hope for, but it is still really rewarding when your receiver does catch the ball. It's even more rewarding when you're able to intercept a pass, though that usually does end in a loss of life. So buyer beware. Defensive play is largely built around punishing your opponent as viciously as possible, with either killing the quarterback or the ball carrier being the ultimate goal.
Touchdown! I'll just assume that to orcs, this is arousing.
Thankfully, fighting after the whistle is encouraged in order to help rid yourself of those problematic players. Because, hey, winning is easier when the other team is dead. Feature-wise, the pre-alpha has each game relegated to 2 3-minute quarters with the option of choosing between 6 teams. The Nuke London Hatriots, the Deadlanta Vultures, the Midway Mutants, the Galaxy Chaos, or the Tokyo Terminators. Each team has its own unique players and bits of flavor dialogue to go along with a small sampling of the Mutant Football League's trademark dirty plays, which are usually violent attacks such as handing the running back a chainsaw to cut down the defense, or turning one of your defensive linemen into a slightly perturbed giant and forcing a fumble by stepping on the opposing quarterback. Dirty plays also include the infamous bribe the ref, and it's even more infamous a response, kill the ref, because look, you just can't have a bribe ref calling the game. That's just bad form. Adding another layer of humor, Digital Dreams Entertainment brought in NBA Jam announcer Tim Kitzrow to drop some delicious commentary throughout each matchup.
I never looked that good dancing, and I have skin.
The voiceover is currently a bit limited, but Digital Dreams says there will be more on the way, and that's a great thing because the dialogue really helps bring the game together.
This robot was a fake ATM machine stealing millions. Now he's scoring in front of millions. That's MFL football, folks.
That's MFL football, folks. The dev team has already begun updating the pre-alpha with new features like additional teams, more dialogue, and the ability to toggle permadeath. And with the knowledge that more teams, more voiceover, and online play are all on their way, and the fact that Digital Dreams Entertainment and Michael Mendheim are so clearly in love and invested in making this a true successor to a long gone but beloved franchise, I think the future of Mutant Football League is really bright.